Tonight, I want to introduce the new members to the board. You might know Barbara Mard and Mary Beth O'Day. I would like the Alliance folks to introduce themselves to everybody. And would you come up here and sit closer to us,
Yeah,
please?
I saw a picture of Jennifer. She's not here?
Jennifer's here. She's in our office, I think.
Okay.
Why is she coming?
Is she transmitting via?
No, I don't think that is.
Oh, jeez, that's all.
Yeah, we're live on TV. So, Mr. Dennis, if you would introduce the staff here, please?
Yes, good evening. My name is Solo Dennis. I'm the director for the Central Mass Public Health Alliance. With me is my colleague, Emilia Halton, Chief of Public Health Nursing. And on my left is Ms. Cherry Tenry, Shared Service Coordinator for the Health Alliance as well. Thank you.
And the young lady?
I'm here for the chickens.
Oh, the chickens, okay.
Chickens, okay.
Yeah, we got that on the agenda. Is anybody else gonna come up?
I am unsure.
So, the first item on the agenda is the June 5th minutes. And I need
You definitely gotta come up.
And
a motion on that, please. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes, June 5th?
Motion,
Second,
Motion to approve the minutes?
motion
Who's
to
taking the
approve the
minutes?
minutes.
Tom, second.
yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who's taking the minutes?
Unanimous.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so the next item on our agenda is the Central Mass Regional Public Health Updates, including nursing and regional updates. So, Mr. Dennis?
to the chair to the committee, I will ask my colleague, Ms. Emilia Halton, Chief of Public Health Nurse, to give an update.
Hi, everyone. So what I want to go over with you is, let me give you this handout. It's the recent arborvirus report. They come out every week, and I repackage them into this form, and I send them out. And it's just in case you had any questions on recent outbreaks in the world and the United States. There are two in Massachusetts that are worth noting.
Two reported cases, Amelia?
So so as of last week, there's this disease called chikungunya, and it's usually found in like tropical areas, tropical countries. And normally you would think somebody who's infected can come here and they would have it. So if they got tested, you would find that this person is positive, and you would say, okay, we have a case in this area, this region, this county. So that's one of them. The other one, let's see, chikungunya, you can get a vaccine for that if you travel to particular regions. And I have a link on here that you can go on, and if you're traveling to any of those regions, it's the traveler's health notices, and it ranks the alerts for each country that's endemic to these mosquito-borne diseases. So the other one would be dengue fever, and I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have 6 cases in there's 61 cases in 8 Massachusetts counties. There's 6 cases in Worcester County, not here, because we would have seen it come through our surveillance system, Maven, but Worcester County outside of our jurisdiction. That's why we don't have access to that information. But we're keeping watch, and of course, just like with any other mosquito-borne virus disease, you know, we have West Nile, we have Triple E. It's the same precautions, and we list them all here. You have to be prepared, you have to know your risk, you have to watch for standing water, wear repellent between dusk and dawn, long sleeves, long pants from dusk to dawn. And obviously, if you have babies in a carriage, you would want to use netting, and you'd want to be careful. So that's just something that, this time of year, between June, the testing began June 17th, and it goes until first frost, sometime in October. So I send these reports out, and if you haven't received one this week and you want to be added to that list, I send these reports out every week. They usually come out on Mondays. Like I say, I make them look like this and send them out to the usual, like, town managers of our jurisdiction. So there's that, and just one more thing. We did have one nursing center that had a very tiny outbreak of COVID, but that's under control. And also, in terms of the senior center, I don't know if you guys would be interested in the actual schedule, but in June, we had to cancel the file of life cards and the blood pressure screen that our nurse Molly comes to West Boylston to perform at the senior center because of voting. So this is the new schedule, and if you guys want to post this anywhere, I don't know how you post things, like I could leave these for you. And this goes until the end, it literally goes till January. It's a file of life clinic and a blood pressure clinic on
So
here.
we should get that posted on
Yeah,
our website?
Okay, there's a bunch
Give
of
it to Faye.
copies here,
That'd be great.
okay,
We
for
could,
you
we
guys.
could post it up at the office too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How soon is the next date, Amelia,
Oh,
for the clinic?
let's see.
Is it soon?
So, August 7th, file of life clinic she does at the senior center between 9 and 10, and the blood pressure clinic she does 10 to 11.
Great, okay.
We try to do both back-to-back in the same day. And so far, it's worked out. They haven't asked for more than this. This seems to work. And Molly is now working with the pharmacist that we used last year for vaccine clinics. Last year, we got to them a little late. It got a little bit chaotic organizing it. But now we're like ahead of the game. And so Molly's working with the pharmacist and with Lisa at the senior center to coordinate hopefully a decent-sized clinic at the senior center in September. We're hoping for September for any vaccines that they want. Now I only have access to like state-supplied vaccine for the uninsured, and this pharmacist would come and bring the vaccine for insured patients.
Which vaccines would she be bringing typically?
Anything that, anything they want. I think she gave Molly a list. The only two that are important to know is RSV and shingles. The pharmacist needs their insurance information ahead of time when they sign up, because she would need to verify, because those are kind of expensive. So she needs to know to bring the vaccine and that it's, taken care of. It's not a waste.
Okay.
So, working on that. I think that's pretty much it, unless you have any questions on any of that.
So is Molly, she's assigned to West Boylston?
Yes.
I think I met Molly before.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Dennis?
To the chair, to the committee, I'll ask my colleague, Mr. Devon, to give an update on the regional environmental health inspection works in the town.
Any mic help? All right. Good evening, everyone. Since our last meeting, I've done 41 food inspections. We've had 6 complaints in town. 3 of the 6 were, actually 4 of the 6 were nuisance complaints. One of the complaints was right across the street at Freedom Village. There were some broken wash machines. I spoke to management. They had already been addressed, repaired, cleaned, and sanitized, so they're working and functioning as intended. We had 1 foodborne illness complaint. I contacted our public health nurse. We both tried to contact the complainant. we were never able to contact her. I did a inspection at the establishment. Everything was fine. We were still unable to speak to the person that made the complaint. Other than that, there's been 2 pool inspections as well. Besides that, everything has been going smoothly so far for the summer.
Devon, how many different ways can complaints come in?
Either through, right now, well, either through email or phone call. Most of the time, we get them through email,
Okay,
and a lot of times they're labeled as anonymous, but we kind of get all their information, the person's name and phone
much as they'll
number.
give it.
Yes,
But you will, they're accepted even if they are anonymous?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Any more questions?
No?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To the chair, to the committee, there's an agenda item that talks about possible community refrigerator. I don't know if you want me to skip that or you want me to hold that for.
I'm sorry, what was that, Mr. Dennis?
refrigerator.
Possible,
Community,
yeah.
yeah, there's been talk in town about a community refrigerator. There's meetings been held with the pastor, Julie, at the Congregational Church. She's interested in doing that. I just want to know what the regulations might be around that. And I know the city of Worcester has several of them, I was told that they do.
Yes, we do.
And I was just wondering if, just to alert your staff that there might be a community refrigerator, and I just want to know what our obligations and responsibilities might be towards that end.
To the chair, to the committee, Chair Tenry can talk about the process. I have had staff that has been part of those conversations. We are aware of some of the regulatory requirements, and whenever we approach that in terms of implementing a community refrigerator process, we'll look at it from an environmental health side as well too. But staff has been participating in those meetings. 2 of my staff has attended those meetings with the pastor to talk about the need of it in the town.
Right.
And that process is ongoing, but I will ask my colleague Cherry to talk more about the planning that has been ongoing so far. Cherry?
Good evening, everyone. We have a scheduled meeting with the point person who is from Wellstorm Inc. to discuss all the logistics to bring in the community fridge to West Boylston. So that meeting was not able to be scheduled previously, but then the person who has been attending the meetings, because I recently joined this position, so this is it is all I will be meeting with this person I think in next week or the week after. So yeah, and I think by next meeting we will have more updates on this.
Okay, thank you very much.
If I may speak?
Sure.
I think from an environmental health stance, there's not a lot of regulation around it, for the only fact that people are going to be providing food to the refrigerators. I think when we spoke at the meeting, I think one of the most important things that's gonna have to happen is wherever the refrigerator is located, it's gonna have to have some kind of monitoring. I actually volunteered to monitor as much as possible when I'm here in West Boylston, just to make sure there's not any items that are expired, making sure the fridge stays clean. It hasn't shut off to make sure it stays at temperature. Because even the ones in the city at the moment, that was one of the biggest issues. How would the city regulate these refrigerators? And it would be kind of hard to do only because we have no control of the items going into the fridge, or what's going in, the shelf life, if the power goes out, because there's so many different ones around the city. So from an environmental stance, if there's any refrigerators community fridge brought to the city, I'm sorry, to the town of West Boylston. I do my best to do as much monitoring as possible and to try to connect with any agency or place where the fridge is gonna be located, just to speak with someone to make sure that, you know, things are taken care of and nothing happens.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my concern too is that it's gotta be monitored.
Yeah.
That I'm uncertain as to what goes in that refrigerator and how long it's been there. And then, of course, you know, the access to the refrigerator, so. But we'll have ongoing discussions going forward with regard to it, I'm sure. Does anybody have any questions? Mary Beth?
Just who was the point person for that? A pastor at one of,
The Congregational Church?
oh, okay.
Julie, yeah. Okay.
Are they talking about having the refrigerator inside in their parish center or
No, this will be
externally?
Externally. So, but it's gonna be an experiment for sure, you know.
How big is this refrigerator?
I think it's gonna be a standalone, like you might have in your residence,
Just a regular refrigerator?
a regular refrigerator. And of course, I'm concerned whether the power goes off or gets unplugged and food's in there, and how often who's gonna be responsible for checking to make sure the items are, besides
That's a lot of work.
you.
It's a lot of work to
You
get
know,
out.
and I'm not sure that we can pull this off, but,
Probably
but
not
I,
generator protected
That's
either.
right. Oh, no.
yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work, but in any event. Yvonne, did you have any, is that have you done is that your office report, your?
Oh, I could do the office report as well. So for I'll start with Title V. So for Title V, we, at Campground Road, there was, they had a failed septic system, so they're having a new septic system installed. We've had soil testing at 37 Prescott, 152 Prospect, 9 Prescott, Newington Street. There were, I think, 4 lots tested there, and also at 1 Campground Road, because it's a new system. Invoices so far, the total right now is $27,910.
What do you mean by that total?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, what I took as far as invoices, when I saw it on the agenda, just total number of permits so far that have
Okay,
come
that's
in
what
throughout the
you're
year.
talking about.
Change subjects.
Changeover from
Okay,
Title V's,
okay,
food permits and everything else.
yeah.
I think there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes, and I guess if we go to the public health preparedness
Right.
Right.
topic, I wanted to discuss maybe when we could set an appointment with emergency preparedness with the city to pick a time and date to meet up so they can check out the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have the person get in touch with me.
Okay.
I have access to the trailer. We have an emergency trailer that's fully stocked with all types of medical equipment,
Cots.
and I did an inventory on it about 2 years ago, and I'm unfamiliar with the life of some of the medical stuff that might be in the trailer. So I'm sure some of it's gone beyond its days. So that's why it's necessary to do that
Okay.
inventory. And try to put the trailer back in order again.
There should be an actual piece of paper listing everything that is in that trailer.
There is, I put one, it's tucked on the door. I put one that's tucked on the door, and there's one in the office. I also have one on my computer at home, so. And if anyone of the board members wants to join us while we.
Here's my question. There was an issue raised as to whether the new municipal light building plant might house that trailer.
Right, I spoke with him, the director.
John
and he-
Fitch.
And he said that they might be able to do that.
Okay.
So, of course, I don't think the new facility's ready just yet.
Well, they're having an open house, I guess, next week. and the
Oh, is
week-
that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's ready for prime time. We'd certainly have a nice space in the old one.
Right,
That's probably where it would go, I would.
yeah, that'd be good to get it out of the weather and
Okay.
be able to actually work on it without being outside. The last time I did the inventory, Tom Walsh, the chief, allowed me to bring it into one of the bays. And my son, who is an EMT, he helped me go through all the stuff. But it needs to be done, so, okay.
Yeah.
So, if you could put up a few dates that you might be able to do that.
Oh, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to assist.
That's right, yeah.
Definitely.
Is there a
So-
new person for emergency preparedness on Mead Street?
To the
Or
chair,
a
to the
person?
board,
There
yes,
used to be.
There's a staff, and I'll be part of that inventory meeting as well.
Okay,
On each trailer, there's an inventory list of supplies in the trailer. And every 6 months, we open the trailer and we do a comprehensive check in terms of equipment, supplies that need to be refurnished. That process has been done. We have changed the tires on the trailers as well.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
we had to do
that's
some
right.
repairs.
Yeah.
Do all the supplies that come to town come from the city supply?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yeah. And actually, there is some supplies that was not put in the trailer the fire chief has because we didn't have room in the trailer, or the trailer wasn't organized enough to put that material in there. So, but it'd be good to get it out of the weather and have access to it.
That would be the best part of
In a
both
building.
worlds.
Yeah, I'll go and see Mr. Finch,
Right.
and I'll ask
If
him
you want
about.
to see where the municipal light is, if you go right here and just go straight, go right across, you'll see the bakery and stores and see their new building.
I know exactly what
as
you're
well as the
talking
old one, yeah.
Okay.
It really looks quite good.
So do you want me to just give a date and a time and?
Yeah,
maybe get-
I don't
okay.
know I know I'm retired, so I've got, I got time. Tom, you got time?
I got time.
I do.
Yeah.
And Barbara does as well, so why don't you come up with a date, and we'll all try to make it down there and do what we can do with it.
Good,
Okay, so I'll get with the staff
very good.
Okay.
to see when they're available.
Where is the trailer, may I ask?
It's in the DPW
Deputy
yard,
parking lot.
Oh, okay.
out with a bunch of other
This
trailers.
is other trailers, you know.
And you can't even get into the back of it now, because it's backed up to the,
Well, that's not good.
trees that are there. So you can get in the side,
That's right.
but the rear ramp, I can't get it to go. The DPW director will be glad to move it for us, I mean, I'm sure, so. Yeah, he'd be glad to maybe see it get out of the yard too, so. Okay.
And there's one question I have about FEP too. Worcester has the vote for us
Yes.
at the meetings.
I'm your rep.
Right, right, and when I looked at, and I like to follow this along, even though I'm really a rookie, despite looking at this, thank goodness you're there to handle the official stuff. But it looks like there's a big transition happening now. And Jamie Terry and Lois Lunowitz contracts have ended. Mike Nelson's on to another job.
Yeah, there's a lot of change.
Okay, but that, you think that's gonna be well handled?
Oh, yeah, they talk
Okay.
about it all the time.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else, Mr. Dennis?
To the chair, to the board, no,
Okay.
thank you.
There- Okay, we'll take that up at another meeting.
Good.
Okay. I guess if that's the case, then we'd like to take on the Agricultural Commission and their report on chicken problems and chicken
Yes, so,
locations.
We,
Would you identify yourself?
oh, yes, my name's Molly MacArthur, I'm the Secretary of the Commission, and we're here because we have been assisting with a complaint on Evergreen Avenue regarding some chickens that are not being well kept. The property has had complaints going back several years now, and there have been visits made prior where they were helping the owners to keep the chickens better. The situation seems to have deteriorated a bit since the last time there was any kind of active, I'll say, intervention related to the property. I did visit the property with one of my fellow commission members, who is, both of us have experience keeping chickens. We did feel that the conditions the birds were being kept in was subpar. Also, the location of the run really is a nuisance to others in the neighborhood. It's right on a property line. We were able to speak with a neighbor who abuts that property and also another neighbor who lives across the street. And they both reported that there is definitely a noise issue. There was not such an issue with smell the day we went. I don't know what any kind of smell-related issue might be with the weather, the way it's been for the past couple of weeks. But it may not, I imagine it has not improved. So the Agricultural Commission did send a certified letter to the property owner, just saying that we wanted to help them with their situation. We did not receive a response from them. So at this point, we are bringing it up as a public nuisance complaint. And so we're hoping to work with the Board of Health to help remedy the situation.
Okay, how many chickens are on that site?
So we were unable to get a good count. We were only able to count from the street and from the neighboring property, because the property owner itself, obviously we haven't gotten permission from them to be on the property. There were definitely more than a dozen birds. Obviously it's hard to tell when they're walking around, but there were both chickens and ducks.
And ducks, okay. So, at this point, you believe the way the animals are being kept is not sanitary?
Correct. There was no litter or bedding in the run. We did notice that there was no open water for the ducks to be able to eat. There did appear to be food and water bins. Obviously, we were only able to see from a distance. We weren't able to check to see how full they were.
Okay, so I've had issues in the past with animals that were not kept in a way that's humane and with proper husbandry. So we'd actually contacted the MSPCA, and I worked with the MSPCA. We also, Devon, have you been out to do an inspection there?
No, I haven't. This is the first time I've heard
Okay.
a complaint about it.
So we're gonna have to direct you to go out and do an inspection. And then the power that the enforcement that the Board of Health has is the nuisance regulation with regard to noise and with regard to smell or that. So we need to look at that. I know that at town meeting, there was some discussion about the possibility of regulating the chickens. It didn't go very well. So for the most part, I think that most people maintain their coops and their chickens in a sanitary manner. There's always going to be a problem. So if Devon can go out,
Definitely.
do an inspection around those issues that we have at this point. I could contact the MSPCA or the ASPCA. At one point, I had to contact the state veterinarian and take care of the situation. It wasn't very pleasant, but we needed to get it done. So at this point, that's where we're gonna go with this. And I wanna thank the Agricultural Commission for assisting us with this. look forward to continually working. We've worked in the past.
Yes.
On some issues, so.
Yes, and thank you for helping us to continue working to resolve the situation. My understanding is that the neighbors have tried to work with the animal owners previously, and it's reached a point where the animal owners do not seem to be particularly receptive to the suggestions, so we're very thankful that you're able to help us intervene here.
Okay.
Do you have an idea of how many chicken people there are in this town?
That we do not know right now. My understanding is there are quite a few. I know there's at least 4 in my neighborhood, including myself, so.
Yeah, we have chickens across the street, and unfortunately, one morning I looked out and one of the chickens was in the mouth of a juvenile coyote.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's,
So they kept the chickens
yes.
more contained.
Yes, and that's another issue with this property that some of the neighbors have noted is that the chickens are not completely secured, which of course creates the opportunity for predators, which obviously have their place in our ecosystem, but we don't necessarily want them
It
around.
was quite a circus where
Yes.
the coyote was chasing all the other chickens.
Yes, yes.
So is it still true that you have the ability to, in writing, request entrance into the property from the property owner?
I would have to say this will be my first time. I was just
I believe when Bob and I were
thinking if,
doing this in the
would
past,
that be
we,
possible for me to even just go right onto the property to even speak with the owners?
Yeah,
So
my
the-
understanding is that you cannot go
Yeah.
onto the property.
you can
Okay.
send them a letter
Send them
and
a letter first,
request entrance.
Okay, so this would be a
and,
first.
You know, make it an appointment so that
Okay,
they're there with you. And if that happens, and if you get that permission, possibly you could take her with you.
okay,
That would be good.
all right, that's wonderful.
So I was thinking too, Devon, in deference to to Ms. MacArthur, but Mr. Thornton and I had the pleasure of working together at Inspectional Services for some time. And yes, you can't unlawfully enter anyone's property. I was not an inspector, but because if it was just the nuisance complaint itself, which can be external, obviously, and, you know, you don't necessarily have to be on a specific piece of property to smell something or observe it to be, you know, a sanitation issue, but if in fact there was some part of your complaint has specifics about it, I worked with MSPCA on a number of occasions with Worcester's Animal Control, and if there's a significant belief that no matter what the animal is, similar to a child or an elder, if they're at risk of neglect or abuse, you know, maybe, MSPCA has a pretty significant, and I know Bob said he's familiar with them too, but, you know, they come out in force and they are armed, and, you know, I don't know how polite they have to be if they believe that there's some serious risk to an animal, so that I know that, you know, a lot of what we did was collaborative, because it tends sometimes to get the job done. So that your concerns as a resident, and I was at the town meeting, and I know how much emotion there was there about this whole topic, but obviously, this is one specific complaint.
Yes.
So, you know, which would fall under you to do what you could, but then if you need to get, you know, you have the sanitation code, it's either a violation or it isn't, and it falls under the nuisance order here in town, but MSPCA then could, you know, do their piece of it, so.
And I have the support of the board.
There you go.
Oh, yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah. So is there any further discussion on this? No. Okay. The next thing we have to do is we have to have a representative on our earth removal board.
Hi, Jen.
I just wanted to add something, if I could, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
So, I was listening in my office to your discussion on the issue on Evergreen,
Yes.
and the ink is not even dry yet on the agreement, but the town of West Boylston, as of Monday night, has entered into an intermunicipal agreement with Rutland Regional Animal Control for our animal control services. Jennifer Ford is the animal control officer, and she has significant experience with farm animals, not just dogs and cats. So I will also make her aware of the situation, and perhaps she and Devon can tag team.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's great.
There you go, Mr. Thornton.
Maybe we got some teeth. So we need to have a representative on the earth removal board. The earth removal board looks at construction sites and evaluates where the fill can be moved from the site, how it's removed, what conservation issues must be addressed in a development. So I was wondering if there's anybody in particular who wants to be on that board? It's one of our members. I've been on the board for some 20 years,
So you have lots of good experience.
so if the board cares, I would still serve on that if
That'd be
no one
great.
else wants to do it, so.
That's right.
I don't-
We are, to coin a phrase, clueless in this regard.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to articulate that it would not be a reason for, not
Right.
wanting to assist, but earth removal is a little out of my
That's right.
wheelhouse,
Okay.
so.
So I would, if the board would make a motion of,
I make a motion that Chairman Bob Barrel continue to be representative on the Earth Removal Board.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let me just go through here. I think we've got pretty much everything else. Yeah, I think we've got pretty much 7th, which is the second Wednesday in August. I don't know how that fits with people's calendars.
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you, I just,
Okay.
It's all right with me.
It's okay.
What about DPH?
To the chair, to the board, whatever time the board select, we'll make ourselves available.
Okay, thank you. Barbara?
Yeah, that works okay with
Okay,
me.
so we'll
it
go,
probably works for me, so,
we'll tentatively schedule it for August 7th,
okay.
okay? And maybe by then we'll have some information on the chickens and such. Amelia, did you-
Number 9, you guys didn't go over number 9?
We did. It's a duplicate on the, isn't it, an emergency?
Authorized.
Authorized
Signature.
signature, thank you.
Yes.
That's another thing, to sign the invoices for the Board of Health, we need to have authorized signatures on the,
It's a form.
on a form that comes out of what, the treasurer's office or the accountant's office.
The accountant's office.
So, in the past, I don't have any, I don't know why each and every one of us could be authorized signatures.
Well, it's this way, you can, as a board, we can make a choice to have it an individual or all of us, but it doesn't have to be all of us, it can be any one of us.
I would like to have all of us, because with vacation schedules or people.
So any one of us.
Any one of us
Yeah.
can
I
sign.
agree with
Okay.
that.
So do I have a motion on that?
Sounds
Tom?
like you already moved it.
I moved it.
I'll second it.
Here you go.
Okay, all in favor. So that's done. Thank you. That,